Welcome back, fellow Armchair Generals. This is Gamer 1745 with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice 11.2. And of course, we're playing as America. I know I'm looking right at Britain now because we're going to be dealing with some stuff with Britain. But we're playing as America. We're having some difficulties here. Some are my choices that have made things go not so great, and some are just simply the war is not going so great. We hope to turn that around in time. But before we get into all this, I want to thank my patrons like Toyjet and others that support me over on Patreon. And I want to thank Don Ramirez and Javon Fouk, if I'm getting that. I'm probably butchering that as well. For thanks for super chats the other week. Really do appreciate that, guys, but I just really hope everybody else just hits that like button because we could love to have more support here. So but everybody else, you know what, just hit that like button, subscribe, post a comment. That is very helpful. I'm looking to see, do we have more? Yes, Toyjet. No, thank you for your support on Patreon. I do appreciate it. And the other support you do give around here. That is also quite helpful. Thinking some Japanese transports out here. We need to sink some submarines, though. Good. Okay, these guys, they need to get going again. I know that. Happened after my... or before my crash. The end of last episode, if you didn't see it, was the first crash I've had of playing this game. So things have been going very well. And it may not even be the mod. It can just simply because I'm in and out, starting, stopping, streaming, live, recording and all that stuff that definitely adds to the strain of the system. Let's see. Hello, Tomahawk. My ASW is doing okay, I think. We do have the event going that makes the torpedoes not so great. That for sure is going. We can check the ASW after I get done with some of the deployments here. Yeah, we'll send these guys up to Scapa Flow. Yeah, I don't know what to say about things going on with Ukrainian war and the various strike elements here. You can come back. We'll bring you back into here, get you reorganized up a bit. Because I firmly believe that there's a lot of propaganda going on, and I don't know who to trust. and I haven't watched what Ragar just commented on the exposition he's looking at. So I can't really comment on that, not even trying to, on that particular thing. I don't know how effectively Ukraine is going to be able to do a false flag operation. Though I will say there will be a high tendency to just simply believe anything that puts Russia in the bad light by the media, so people may not look into things to see if there's false flag stuff. I know there's a lot of type of false flag stuff going on in the Middle East over the years. And often the press really just buys it all because they have their agenda. So I'm not going to say that that isn't what is happening in Ukraine. It very well could be. I have a stronger tendency to believe the Ukrainians are just jumping on any, sounds like good news story, like the ghosted Kiev fighter pilot, or the defenders of Snake Island fighting to the death, and they mostly, if not all, survive. So not that they didn't make the go fuck yourself type radio transmission, but so there's definitely propaganda going on. I do think the Russians are still desperate. I do think the Russians are more likely to indiscriminately to attack. I think they're trying to break the Ukrainian morale. I think currently the state of the war is, my estimation is that the Russians are making progress, if you will, in the conquest down in here, and they're maybe pushing across the Dnieper here better. But I also think, again, I could be wrong about all this, because notice I'm saying I think, because I don't know. I sometimes I totally believe whatever the footage that's put in front of me. Like when I think it was a Spanish reporter is crouching down next to an artillery piece, but out sort of next to the muzzle area, and gets knocked over, and you see the cell phone is knocked off the selfie stick from the muzzle blast. I'm totally believing that that's real and not fake stuff, and as well as a pro-Russian situation where some reporters were near like an artillery piece that then gets counter battery fire and they're running away. So I'm believing these incidents are happening. I don't know that they are really showing or whatever who's winning or losing the war, but I think the these incidents are happening, and so I think some of the stuff we're looking at, and I know if you've been around the channel a while, I've analyzed some video and how particularly one ambush from my looking at the video appeared to be happening in my analysis of the ambush and the reaction drills or lack thereof of the Russians to the ambush. So I do believe some of that's real. But what I will say is, like I say, I think the Russians are making progress in taking territory. But it seems, from every indication that I can see, that they're dredging up out-of-date weapons. They're dredging up whatever they can. So it seems to me that the Ukrainians are giving a heavy toll. When you talk about Ukraine's a big place, so I would rather give up miles here to effectively destroy tanks and other heavy equipment, including trucks and whatnot. So I would rather give up territory than fight desperately to hold the territory when and if you can effectively destroy units. Have an ambush, destroy the leading elements of the column, and then get the fuck out of there and set up another ambush, a mile down the road or 4 miles down the road or whatever. Set up another ambush and do it, keep doing that. And if you're taking few casualties and you're putting on a lot more casualties, you're actually winning, even though you're giving up territory. Now if you're just giving up territory and you're not winning, well, that's where the problem comes in. So I'm not in any way commenting specifically on what Rhaegar was talking about, because again, I haven't I looked at the videos false flag. Yeah, well, it depends on what you see. I have not been looking recently. Hello, Gus. How you doing? I believe the war isn't going like the well, fuck yeah. They thought it was going to be done in 4 days. Yeah, Tomahawk. Yeah, no, they thought it was going to be done in 4 days, and the whole Battle of Kiev, shall we say, the Ukrainians won because the Russians. I think there were some commando teams operating in and around Kiev, and they pushed down, down through to this part, down to northwest of Kiev, if you will, and then they've retreated entirely back from it. So yeah, they've won that. So yes, the war is not going as the Russians have expected it. Now all the forces that were over here, at least most of them, seem to have been put over somewhere over in here, and they're being more effectively used, it seems. Or, I don't know. Like I say, it seems. But they may be pushing, like I say, and getting ground up as they're pushing. I don't know. And I will say that the Ukrainians are doing very well only because of Western military aid. I do believe that they're getting some signal intelligence and other sort of satellite intelligence from, we'll call it NATO, meaning the U.S., because nobody else has the satellites like we do, that are allowing them to sink some ships and force the Russians to retreat from Snake Island. There's actually a plan now, I understand, that Odessa and a couple of the other ports will, the Russians will now allow. See, here's the thing. I haven't even got through all the chats yet, and we're on this topic. There's negotiations. I don't know if they've concluded, because it's been a few days since I checked, that why would the Russians allow civilian ships to come in and out of Odessa and a couple of other sort of ports in this part without being attacked if they were doing well? If they were, we're going to be taking Odessa tomorrow, why would you, or next week or whatever, why would you be negotiating with the Ukrainians over this? And part of it is to keep the Ukrainians from mining or something, some Russian ports or whatever. Stop doing some of the sea mines and maybe some of the other attacks on naval vessels. To if the Russians will stop attacking shipping coming in and out of Odessa. So that tells me that just the mere fact that these negotiations are going on, that Russia's having problems, and Russia's having a naval problem. And whether the missiles are Ukrainian made, as some people have said, or whether they are, supplied by the West, that have sunk some of, the Moskva and other ships and driven them out of the Snake Island, because they're sinking some, supply ships and driving them out. It's not going well. But it's all of the NLAWs and the other like missiles that we've been giving, NATO have been giving the Ukrainians and continue to do so. They only make about 6,000 NLAWs a year, so they're only going to get so many of those. Now they also make tow missiles and other things too, I know. But and we've given them, and they're either, I saw some that may be in the field. Video of some Panzerhaubitze 2000 that had been Dutch, I believe, being driven by guys with looking to be Ukrainian uniforms. But I don't know if they were being driven in Poland, as training them, or if they were being driven in Ukraine. Not sure on that. But it's only because of these things that are keeping Ukraine in the war, in my belief. Not that keeping keeping the war conventional, because you could easily turn it into a truly protracted guerrilla war, which I think would happen. And that just needs AKs, AK-47s and, some plastic explosives. We've seen that for a long time in the 20th century, second half thereof. So it's definitely not going well for the Russians. That is sure. Russian, basically brothers, and when brothers fight, best to stay out of it. Yeah, I don't think I don't think the West should get actively involved in the fighting. It's one thing to send them some information. It's one thing to send them some equipment. It's even, I'm not terribly comfortable with it, but even training troops, because I saw some video supposedly, and it seemed like it, coming out of Britain, of British military training Ukrainians in Britain, supposedly. Again, I'm saying supposedly because that's what's reported, and I'm not saying it's incorrect. I'm just saying that's what it's supposed to be, but I couldn't geolocate the video or something, or didn't have an independent, trustworthy geolocator guy to figure it out. So I'm presuming it's right, because they were having what sounded, as a British soldier there in British uniform. I totally believe that that's the case, holding an AK-47 and explaining what to do in English, and then it sounded like a woman, if I remember correctly, a woman translating it into presumably Ukrainian. I don't speak the language, so I can't comment on how that on whether it was, but that's what it seemed like. So it was a British trainer training some Ukrainians. Don't know whether they're volunteers or National Army soldiers or whatever, but it was getting them familiar with firing movement or whatever, and training them up. And so the trainer doesn't speak Russian or Ukrainian, and had just apparently some woman who spoke English presumably well enough to understand what was being said, and spoke Ukrainian well enough to translate it into their language. So yeah, it seems like their problem. The problem is their conquest is destroying major industry centers, which will be devastating for their economy to fix. Absolutely, that's absolutely true. Ghosty cavios are made in DCS, not quite sure what that is. So how overpowered is the U.S.? I don't think it's overpowered, Gus. It is overpowered over the other nations. Right now, we don't even have 500 ICs. Now, I have not been building as many ICs as I probably should have. I'm starting to build more, and more up here. But the U.S. was very, very powerful in World War II, so I don't know that it's overpowered from history. It's overpowered compared to other countries, for sure. But I don't know that it's overpowered from what it should be. Will you ever stream Hell Let Loose? I don't have Hell Let Loose, so sure, I might someday, but I don't have it right now. So someday maybe. I wouldn't be against the idea. I know a few of my friends have the game. I just don't have the game yet. One thing I also want to do is let's I'm going to offer Lend-Lease to Britain and see if they accept it. Okay, good. Okay, so what we're going to do here is distribute, yes. Yeah, it's going to all be to Britain. No, not like that. Yeah, about like that, maybe. Sort of get that and some of the motor torpedo boats out of production here for the moment, but we'll get these guys done soon. Yeah, I got Postscriptum. There's actually Yohishima, hope I'm remembering it right, was commenting on it just within the last 24 hours, I should say. Yeah, there, an earlier live stream of us playing, including Arno, I believe, if I remember correctly, playing, and hello, Sun Temple Radio, playing Postscriptum. It was a few Sundays ago that we played live, streamed it. So if you want to check that out sometime, and I'm sure we'll be doing some more Postscriptum live. I'm sure of that. I don't know when we'll be doing it, but I'm sure we will be. So definitely more Postscriptum. We could see about it sometime. I'm definitely not against it. I don't know when. Probably not for tomorrow, but maybe, I'm not going to buy it that quick or anything, but we can see about it. Fighter ground control. Yeah. Well, let's make sure. Did I cancel it out? Let that continue. Okay, Mr. Duck, thanks for hanging out with us. Glad you're back from England and everything's going good. I hope it all is, yes. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you just want to buy it to play it, sure, go ahead. But I don't necessarily buy it because I don't know when or. I hate to have people spend money on a game and presuming that we're going to be playing it and then we don't play it for a while. So I don't know when that is likely to happen. So I, don't want you guys just spending money and then go, oh, but I bought the game and it's been 3 months and you haven't played it and whatnot. So I don't know. We can talk about it some other time. Okay, where did we lose this? Okay, the Mediterranean. So did we get any kills with that? Maybe. And then we have you out here. Hopefully disrupting some envoys. Nope, looks like the Italians took back Sardinia from the British. The British had gotten all but up here in the top. Well, of course you can play with somebody else. I'm not saying you shouldn't get it. I'm just saying don't get it on my account just right away because I'm not sure when or if we're going to be playing it. Fly transportation advance. Okay, yes, I know we did this before, but we're trying to catch back up to where we were. Mentioning all that, and I know no player on or whatever has asked me. We will be playing, I presume, likely Hearts of War Thunder tomorrow. But if you guys haven't already, check out our Discord server. Should be links around, and if you hear me and I don't put them in some video, you just ask for the link for the Discord server and I'll post it. There's a bunch of us, a couple hundred people on the Discord server already, and find people to play games with or against or whatever, and we hang out and have fun. And we did movie night last night, and it was Starship Troopers. Some of the guys hadn't seen that before. Well, Arno, if you want to play Naval with me some other time, I'm definitely up for playing Naval some other days. If you, or hit me up on, New Zealand. Okay, you can have aluminum. New Zealand. After your work is done or something like that on Steam, and we can play some naval stuff. I'd love to do that with you. Okay, giant infrastructure projects. Okay, no, it's grayed out. Okay, good. Commander decision making. That is down here. Let that continue. Spotting. Well, it says 43. We're going to get off of that. And light cruiser, it's also 43. Because we can come over here and do some more 42s. Got a little bit more. We'll put it over here. And we have some free points here. Okay. More motor torpedo boats for Arno. I know he likes those and they're useful. And I did send some up this way and they're here now. Now I'm going to send them down to here. These guys are better organized up, so we're going to patrol. No, not we're going to patrol, but passively, I think. Too aggressive. Okay, let's look at our. Okay, we could go out here, patrol. Now these will be a bit more aggressive. Going to help the British out. By hopefully sinking some of these raiders. How far out here can you get? Okay, you can get all the way out to there. Yeah, hopefully that will help the British out with dealing with the German envoy raiding. Just came available. Okay, the Marine. Oh, our carrier air groups. Okay. Okay, let's. Now let's just find some airbase back in here. We can form them up. Okay, good. Now we can soon get ready back to being aggressive in the Pacific. We have to go down here because I'm looking for somebody who's good at sinking ships. And he's good at sinking ships. Happy Boyington, Baba Black Sheep. Great old series. Okay, so you three, you come out to Hawaii. You're just going to rebase for the moment. Get you on the carriers in a bit. We give them money for supplies. No, we're not buying supplies from Vichy. No, not buying supplies from Vichy. I'm going to need more carrier air groups, I know. They're going to take high attrition, I think, and we're going to use them aggressively. And I really want to take back these islands. Wake and midway. I do think, which we may be seeing here, because there are some transports, and they may be coming for Hawaii. Wow. Wonder if they're coming for Hawaii. Yep. Looks like it. Okay, guys. That's not what I'm looking for. That probably was it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Nope. I want to be here. Rebase to carrier. Rebase to carrier. Rebase to carrier. Okay, you're in pretty good shape, so you're going to go out there too. We're going to be ready to deal with anything coming towards Hawaii and sink it now that we have. Here we now have also the silent second here getting organized up. Yes, man, the defenses. Not sure that they're coming here, but well, they got a big stack here. It looks like they're carrying, and they have some assault ships, so I mean, if they want to land on the U.S., fine. You can do that. Okay, we're gonna put out more of these, but we're going to specify this time. Make sure that they're going out passively, because I don't know if the last time they were. We're taking a high toll on our submarines, but well. Oh, we now have Spain heading into the Axis. We're now likely to have Spain in the... Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, they're pushing on us here. We were unable to withdraw across the peninsula. Okay, our ships, our motor torpedo boats are moving around there. Yeah, even more carrier aircraft. I know I'm overdoing it, but we have a bunch of carriers that I take Crete. Yeah, it would be nice to. We can't even freaking take Eritrea here. So I don't know how I'm going to get to Crete. I mean, it would be nice, Arno. But I'm, you know... Okay. Extreme terrain combat tactics. Very good. 43. Hello, Eric. How you doing? Velocity gun. Good to hear, good to hear. Still watching these guys. There's definitely a bunch of transports and groups on those. Fair at best. The war is only going fair at best. Okay, fire control systems advance. Yeah, we'll let that continue. Yeah, we you know, we're getting to where we could bomb everything. Okay, now we're getting some fighters. Those will be useful. Send those out to England, I think. We can get that. Okay, we're getting another infantry division coming and an armored division. Landing craft, which will help. I think we'll do two more landing craft. We lost a destroyer out of here. Maybe their submarines are too effective now. Thinking destroyers. German blueprint stolen. President, our spies have stolen plans that let us improve our abilities in medium armor designs to level 6, given the following benefits. So, we hadn't been able to research that yet. I think we were, medium guns or something, or high explosive anti-tank. So, well, we'll get to that soon. So that gets us our armor to a better level. And yeah, more submarines. I mean, how many are you buying there? I mean, you're just buying the plans and aid in building it, I know, but still. Okay, there, you're still heading. No, well, yeah, I know you're taking territory. Yeah, well, whatever. I don't care about the Alaska Islands. What tank type is it now? We can check that out. For medium armor design, M4A3E8, which is really early if that's actually what we have. So yeah, the EZ8, which didn't come until much later than 42. Yeah, they're definitely heading for Hawaii. Okay, well that money is okay. Yeah, they got to be coming for Hawaii somewhere here. I'm not going to let them get on to here if they. Okay, well, say that's a Nimitz. Okay, King. Iowa class. Okay. Let's see. Battleship Division 3 under King, who was actually commanding back in Washington and focusing a bit more on the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, as Drock Chinafil calls it, God Emperor of the U.S. Navy. Yes, he was basically that, functionally, but he was not running the Pacific. It was either Nimitz, well, it was really Nimitz. It was running the Pacific, and MacArthur was sort of getting to borrow ships from Nimitz to do his naval invasions. Hello, Paulette one. How you doing? Okay, well, we took out a long-range German submarine there. And Battle of Surigao. Okay, well, we won there. It looks like we're getting some Filipino aid, possibly. That would be nice. Okay, getting more and more industry. Good. Getting the fighters that we need. All right. We're putting in 20 ICs to Lend-Lease. Let's come back over here. Let's focus some of our building here of ICs. Yep, that'll help. You guys get out here and patrol. Deal with this area. Well, maybe we're going to do a better patrol. Help the British out there. Well, I don't know what happened to that. Big fleet of these transports. It could be still out, just out there way far enough that we're not seeing it. Is that it going back? No, I don't think so. Facing advance, very nice. Those that are new here, whether on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, please follow or subscribe to the channel. Love to have you around more often. Okay, yeah, Army HQ would be nice. Get that. Winning here, it looks like good. Ah, okay. There we go. So you guys go. Carriers coming there. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, well, we lost the heavy cruiser Quincy and the battleship New Mexico. They lost the battleship U.S.A. and a bunch of light cruisers and DDs and some transports. That maybe okay. Well, you know, I guess that's maybe where they're retreating to. Let's see if we can follow them and think some more of them. Well, that looked like it kicked the guts out of them. Well, so we did lose a battleship. But it looks like we kicked all their guts out. Their last light cruiser, their liner, and 2 more landing ships, because they don't have any more here. So all those infantry units that were here are dead now. Yay. And I think on that note, you guys can come back to port. You guys can come back to port. And you... Let's save the... Oh no, I want to come here. Save this. I think we're going to end the episode here. Yes, the invasion is averted. See, that's what I wanted to have happen with Midway and or Wake Island. We, didn't get the battle of... weren't able to... We kicked a lot of butt when we had aircraft for the Battle of Midway, but we need to do that better when we get some more stuff. So that was invasion force destroyed. That is actually sort of the ideal optimum outcome, because not only did we stop the invasion, we destroyed their invasion capabilities, we destroyed their ground forces that can't be used someplace else like the Philippines. So it's just a best sort of win. It's always best to kill troops at sea when they're traveling. Well, I want to thank you all for getting this far in the video. If you, like I say, haven't already, please give that a like. Love hearing from you as well. See you next time for more, yes, more Hearts of Iron.